But man, I'll catch the replay.
All right, it's 9:02, brothers. I'm about to jump right into it because we're already 2 minutes behind. All right, so welcome to the 22nd episode of the Revolutionary Code, where we bring the truth about how government and politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America. My name is Tamani Mwandani. I'm your host out of Houston, Texas. I am, the direct revolutionary product of one Cardinal and Bayou Chewy out of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, the indirect revolutionary product of Reverend Albert B. Clegg, African name Jeramogi Baby Azuman, the father of liberation theology and the founder of the Shrines of the Black Madonna. I am also the founder of the Black Gold Nation Movement. My co-host, the National Director of Political Strategy and Implementation for the Black Gold Nation Movement, and the chairman of LACE, Liberation Advocates for Community Empowerment, the intellectual gangster, corporate grassroots revolutionary, and master domino assassin from Shreveport, Louisiana, AKA The Boot, Brother Craig B. Lee. What's happening, Brother Craig?
Man, it's all gravy. It's all wonderful. And I hope everybody is having a great week and a great beginning to the 2021 new year.
Amen. Amen. Okay, so before we get started this evening, as always, let me tell you a little bit about the Black Gold Nation Movement. Our ultimate goal is to put ourselves, our people, Black people, in a position by which we can own or control the environment where we live. It is our contention, the supporters, members, and leaders of this movement, that if we don't control our environment, we are going to continue to lose. If we allow other people to control any aspects, any system within that environment, if other people control it, we're always going to find ourselves on the bottom, be it the education system, the political system, the economic system, the agricultural system, the spiritual system, the political system, the security systems. Whenever we allow other people to control any system in our environment or the entire environment, we always find ourselves on the losing end. So since we, the supporters, members, and leaders of the Black Gold Nation Movement, since we do not want to always be losing, since we don't want to always be on the bottom, we want to be in control. And that is why we do what we do. Every single thing we do in this movement is about bringing our people together so we can find the right people who want to do something other than talk and post on social media. Brother Craig and I are not just here to inform or educate. We want to inform, educate, motivate, mobilize, organize, and build. Everything we say and everything we do is about trying to get you on board in this nation so we can build a nation to do something for our people moving forward. We understand that everything is about power. What happens to us happens because we do not have the power to stop it. So that is why every single thing we do is about building power for our people in the different areas by which our people are being attacked and destroyed. Tonight's show title is White Hate, Anger, and Violence, Understanding How Plutocrats Use Propaganda to Pimp the Masses. All right, so we're going to jump right into this thing, but let's first make sure that everybody is clear on that one word that might be foreign, plutocrat. So that's the first question, Brother Craig. What exactly is a plutocrat, as well as plutocracy?
So, as we discussed last week, a plutocrat is a member of a particular class of individuals as defined by European intellectuals. And this group of people represent the architects and the engineers of the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy. They are the elite of the elite. They are the shot callers. They are the puppet masters. They are the entities who do the David Copperfield and David Blaine tricks while you're believing that it's just entertainment. They are those individuals who control, again, the philosophy, system, and game that regulate what goes on throughout the world, the matrix.
All right. Okay. All right. I thought there was another sentence in there. Okay. So thank you for that definition. The next question. The title of tonight's show is White Hate, Anger, and Violence. Bring us up to speed on what happened at the Capitol last week as relates to this white hate, anger, and violence. What happened?
Oh, it was a wonderful, man, it was one of the greatest days in world history that I've ever seen. It was a day that I had predicted, not necessarily that white folks would storm the Capitol, but I had predicted and wanted and desired Donald J. Trump to become president for this very reason, because he would help to expose the severe high-level hypocrisy of America and its citizenry, in particular the white citizenry primarily. And so it was a wonderful day where you had indoctrinated white folks take it upon themselves, after having been pimped and manipulated by Donald Trump and some of his core Republican colleagues in the Senate and the Congress, manipulated all of these people, white folks and a few Negroes.
There was a few in there. Yeah, it was a few in there.
That's why you got to know the difference between the six factions of melanated people. And when we talked about this, people are, oh no, everybody. No, there's a difference between melanated people. So there were some Negroes, sellout Negroes, bourgeoisie, melanated Negroes in the audience. But it was a wonderful day that exposed what America is really all about. And then a few days later, Joe Biden exposed himself as a collaborator and enabler of these people when he said, this is not America. This is not us. So what we saw, he's basically saying is not us. And one of our classmates said, one of my classmates from Xavier University referenced Martin Luther King's quote from the Birmingham jail, where he wrote his famous letter from the Birmingham jail and talked about how it wasn't the Ku Klux Klaner or the white supremacists from the Citizens Committee or any other white supremacists. It was the moderate white liberal that basically was the main impediment. And he had come to being almost of the belief that nothing could happen. And I got into a nice little debate with my classmate to discuss how King and also James Baldwin, in his book and now documentary of his life when he did this book, Price of the Ticket, how both of them, regardless of their pseudo-revolutionary rhetoric, were so infatuated by white supremacy that they were engulfed in actually advocating escape routes for these so-called liberals and moderates. But Joe Biden let it be known, even he still wants to manipulate the Negro into believing what you saw was not really what you saw. That really wasn't America. It was an aberration, but it was exactly America, because that's who America is.
You know, and you know that's a very interesting and good point. And what was interesting to me and quite funny is that it seems like the white people were saying, "Oh my God, this isn't America," but almost down to the last, black people were saying, "This is America." And it's funny. It's like I think the only people who believe that racism doesn't exist is white people.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't affect them because of white privilege. So I don't know if these people are really disillusioned into believing that this is not America, or they are, continuing to try to pimp the masses and say, no, 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 that's not how it really is. When obviously that is how it is, and that's why this thing happened. Now, let me ask you, Brother Craig, real quick, how do you categorize what happened? Do you see that as an attempted coup? You see it as an insurgency? You see it as a mob or riot? How do you, Craig B. Lee, how do you categorize what happened, that action? Where do you put that?
What is the title of our
White hate, anger, and violence. Understanding how plutocrats use propaganda to pimp the masses.
So a pimp
break it down.
put so-called hoes on the street in order to accomplish a capitalistic agenda and objective.
That's right.
So how do I categorize what happened last week? Hoes on the stroll. Donald Trump and his squad put hoes on the stroll because all of those people have been pimped by their pimps. And they were put on the hoe stroll in order to perceptively accomplish an objective that could not be accomplished. And you say, well, wait a minute, Craig, why couldn't that be accomplished? It's real simple. The philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy racism must always protect itself.
That's right.
It cannot allow for some rumblings from within to tear down the infrastructure. So now you had a few Republican senators and congressional folks rolling with Trump in his pimp game, which in all actuality, Trump is working on behalf of the Democratic Party in order to implode the Republican Party, but that's a whole nother game. And if you're not, high level in your ability to think and critically think, that would be something that seemingly is far-fetched. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I would categorize what we saw last week as nothing more than a urban pimp putting his hoes on the street mm-hmm. and making them go turn tricks. And they went and turned the tricks, and now some of them, and it's just wonderful news today, mm-hmm. a few of them have committed suicide.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 53-year-old cat out of Georgia. He was a banker. He killed himself. Just wonderful news.
Right.
A couple of months ago, one of them in September, he killed himself, suicide. Just wonderful news. So a few of them have committed suicide. Mm-hmm. And then the others are going to jail. And then the pimp are just going to skate. And if you listen to Donald Trump's, man, you got to, bro, if you want to hear what we call in sales, we call this in marketing spin. Mm-hmm. Spin. This is how you take something that happened and now you spin it to make it appear that it didn't happen the way that it actually happened.
Right. Who you gonna believe me or your lying eyes?
And so because of identity politics,
yes, sir.
Because of ignorance and stupidity, the pimps know that they can spin anything in a direction that benefits their political agenda. And it was just so beautiful to hear Trump this morning. Bro, you got to go back and hear. He called them out to take over, but now that the pressure was on, he now condemned them for now, this is not who we are. This is not what America is about. But he knows that the people are too stupid to understand history because that's all that America is about.
Right.
Murder, rape, violence, mayhem, chaos, confusion. And so I love him. I think the NAACP should give Donald Trump the highest NAACP award because he has done more for our people in America than any president in American history because he has put these white folks on the world stage for the world to see how truly hypocritical they really are.
And that is a very, very, very good point, brother, because people like you and I who tend to pay attention, not only were we not shocked by the behavior of these people, but it is no secret that the members of the KKK have children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. All of this stuff has not gone away. These white supremacist organizations that the FBI, the CIA have been ignoring for years. We knew that they were there, but people who want to believe in this fallacy, this dream of the ideal of America, they are actually shocked. And I'm like, where you been? Because it's been there for a very long time. Okay, so you mentioned briefly there were some melanated people there, and you mentioned the 6 factions. Most people probably don't know what the 6 factions are. So can you quickly give one or two bullet point as to what each faction is, and then tell us what faction was actually there?
Yeah. So of the African descendants in America and throughout the world, you have 6 factions or 6 groups of African descendants. And on the black side, because you got to understand that black is not your phenotype, it's not melanin, it's your state of mind. And it's the state of mind of African descendants in America and throughout the world who are focused on the liberation, empowerment, and advancement of African people. And so there are only 2 factions, 2 groups of those individuals. And they are grassroots, melanated black, and then you have your melanated grassroots hybrid. Those individuals who can roll with the grassroots, but also maneuver through corporate America and through the public sector. It is our job to help our brothers and sisters at the grassroots level and work with them to navigate. Those are your only 2 groups of Black African descendants. The other 4 categories, factions, groups of African descendants start with the melanated bourgeoisie Negro. These are your upper echelon Negroes who are out there, the old money Negroes, some of your kind of newer money Negroes like Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, or whatever. But you have some generations of bourgeoisie Negroes who go back into the money early 1900s, and they pass these resources on. The second group is your pseudo bourgeoisie Negroes who desire to be melanated pseudo bourgeoisie Negroes. They desire to be like the bourgeoisie, but they don't fit. Either they don't have the skills, they don't have the pedigree, they don't have the actual professional background, or maybe they do, and they don't have any inroads by way of the political realm of the Democratic Party or the fraternities and sororities who are the gatekeepers to that particular bourgeoisie category. Those who represent the Link, Jack and Jill, all of these other boule organizational structures that represent that group. The melanated pseudo bourgeoisie, a lot of them have aligned themselves with the Republican Party. So those are some of the ones who you saw standing foolishly,
Yeah.
and while they were being filmed at this pseudo insurrection that was staged. So it wasn't a goddamn inside insurrection. It was an inside job. That's what it was. Then you have your melanated grassroots Negro. They are similar to the melanated grassroots black entity, but the difference with this group, this particular group, just go to work. They ain't concerned about their community. They just individuals, taking care of their family. They're good people. They just don't know no better, and they're not working as a collective. And then lastly, you have your melanated savage Negro. These are the Negroes that we got to contend with. They are the destructors of our community, the murderers, the rapists, the killers. These are the cats who we have to deal with before you can even deal with the actual white folks who are the architects, engineers, and managers of the system and game of capitalistic white supremacy.
Dig it. All right. Thank you for that. Now, why are the white people? Why are they so angry? What is their fundamental issue? What are they? What are they so pissed off about?
They're pissed off about the darkening of America. They're pissed off about their quality of life standard is no longer what it used to be. They're pissed off because they're dumb as hell. And they don't want to go back and get skills, education so that they can compete. They're pissed off because they see they're going to have to compete. And you're not just going to be able to rely on Bubba and Marlene navigating and cutting for you to help you get a job. They're pissed off that their industrial labor jobs no longer exist in the damn factories, in the coal mines, in these other areas. So their quality of life is being impacted. And so they're pissed for a variety of reasons. And of course, they believe the rhetoric that's being fed to them by the Republican Party that all of this is the fault of Negroes and Latinos and anybody else who is a high-level melanated, darker hued people. And so, yeah, that's why they pissed off.
And Brother Craig, it's interesting how everything we talk about in both the Revolutionary Code and the movie reviews, you can see all of this in everything we've discussed. You see the Matrix, you see the Waiting on Superman, you see American Made, you see Plutocracy, you see all this stuff playing out if you're paying attention, because these people actually believe that, like you said, identity politics, they see Trump as being their guy.
Exactly.
It's just like when people were voting for Bush, I could have a beer with him. Ain't no way you would never have a beer with George Bush because he don't operate on your level.
Exactly.
But again, just like the movie Plutocracy, where they were so hell bent on not allowing labor unions to rise up because they don't want to give people money so they can have a decent living. They would hire other poor people, feed them a certain message, and put them out there to fight against. And the people that they're fighting against are just like them.
Exactly.
Right? So the same thing is happening when you have these people on the ground in DC mad at the wrong people for the wrong reasons. Now realizing that they're just being used, which goes back to the point of how they use propaganda to pimp the masses. So that's the next question. If I didn't already give it away, what is the motivation behind the plutocrats? What are they trying to do with the propaganda that they push for these people to get out there in the first place? The people at the top who are pushing this misinformation to all of these white people. What's their motivation? What are they trying to do?
To never do regular work. to never goddamn pick cotton, to never shovel snow, to never pick garbage, to never wash dishes, to never do any menial labor, to always be the people who control thoughts, to be the ones who control ideas, to be the ones who tell people what to think, how to view any and everything. Because remember, their whole focus is power.
That's right.
And as Dr. Wade Noble said, define the word power, the ability to define reality and have others respond to your definition as if it were their own. So their whole thing is to be the source of all information, the standard of that, the source of all reality. So when Negroes are arguing about their favorite goddamn football team or basketball team, who's controlling those thoughts? The white person who created the AFL and then the NFL and the damn team. So they placate to the masses by way of personalizing entertainment genres that occupy their mind. So in order to do that, you got to control the minds and the spirits of the masses so that you can pirate or steal their ideas. And when you can steal their ideas from the theft of their mind and their spirits, now you have transformed them into prostitutes. Therefore, you can now pimp them for your good, and thus maintaining perpetual power.
And not only are you able to maintain that perpetual power, but you have all these holes that you can control and pit against one another.
Exactly.
Because if I remember, I don't remember what we were talking about, but I was talking about the documentary Waiting for Superman, and I said the education system, and you said it's not an education system, it's a schooling system. That's because right. The people aren't being properly educated.
Exactly.
And it's obvious, like you just said in the beginning, the people, you say stupid, they don't know how to critically think, despite the fact that the evidence of the reality of America is right in front of them, because they can't critically think and analyze, or they don't want to believe it. They can't see what's being done to them and how they're being used and manipulated. And that's going to become dangerous. And we're going to get to that part later on. But that's something to keep in mind, that these people aren't critically thinking, which is why they're out there in the first place. So if the people at the top never want to work, if that's their motivation behind the propaganda and the controlling of the people, if they never want to work, what's going to happen when the mechanisms that control this matrix, the artificial intelligence, the machine language, the usage of robotics, all these jobs that are going away are not coming back.
That's right.
The food lines are going to get longer.
That's right.
The menial labor jobs are going to be replaced with robotics and machines.
Yes.
So what are these people on the bottom going to do when all of the rhetoric of what they're being told never comes to fruition?
War.
Exactly. That's right.
With one superior and another is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, there will be a war.
Yes, sir. Yep.
There is a war. And in this game, in this war, as my former business partner, Israel Shadea, once told me in 1995, Brother Craig, if you want to get to know the Creator, study nature. And when you study nature, goddammit, you're not going to see a gazelle trying to be friends with a damn lion.
That's right.
Nor a jaguar, nor a leopard. Why? Because the gazelle is prey to those big cats. And the gazelle knows somewhere in Africa, as the saying once went, today a gazelle rose. And he figured, I got to keep running, because if I stop running, the lion will eat me. So now this thing that you just described, which is described in the movie The Matrix,
That's right.
described in a lot of the movies that we've seen. It's described in Godfather Part 1, 2, and 3. You're either going to be in or you're going to be out. You're going to be with the squad or you're not. But this goddamn illusion that they painted for these crazy ass people called the American dream, which should tell your crazy ass something right now.
It's a dream.
Because in order for your ass to dream, you're not awake. Now you can daydream, but even then, your mind is wandering somewhere. And now you're not dealing with reality. But what are you dealing with? Idealism, romanticism. When I was coming up here in Shreveport and you were in South Carolina, they had a TV show. And they had a goddamn white dude by the name of Mr. Rourke. And the show was called Fantasy Island.
That's right.
And every time that the damn show came on, the little midget would say, "They're playing, they're playing." And all these crazy ass people, a lot of them were rich. They would come to Fantasy Island and get with Mr. Rourke before they came so they could confront issues that they were having. And he would create the fantasies to get at the core of the issues that they were having. Well, goddamn it, the fantasy is over for Americans. Either you're going to learn to deal with reality or you're going to be dealt with. You're either going to become predator and now stamp out white supremacy racism and usher in equity, justice, freedom, or you're going to be prey. That's what's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of new prostitutes on the streets physically, both female and male. You're going to see a lot of more violence in the streets because the majority of people don't know how to be entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So it is up to those who are the grassroots hybrid of each ethnic group to now teach the grassroots masses how to maneuver. But if they're not willing to learn, this is going to be their reality.
I think the picture of the kind of reality that we're going to be faced with is an extreme chasm between the haves and have-nots. And like you just said, if you're not on the team or part of a team, and you're just out there trying to wing it and make it on your own, your existence is going to be hell because you're not going to be plugged into anything. You're not going to be a part of a group that can protect you and you can work with and be down with. So for those people, like you just said, for those people that don't see it, they're about to get a very rude awakening, and that is one of the reasons why we do what we do, because we want our people to know that this thing is real. The games that these people play, they play for a reason. The philosophy that they have to take, maintain, and keep power by any means necessary is real.
Any means necessary.
Right? So I was listening to a sister who is the founders of one of the founders of a fairly large movement. Well, I think they're large in the country, and I sent it to both you and Brother Lloyd, and you talk about idealism. This sister, who has a following, actually said, if America wants to save itself, they have to. You must give us reparations now, so that we can move up and be protected from these masses of people in Washington. She actually thinks, or at least She pretends to think. I don't know what she believes, but she said to her followers on her show, this is why, she's talking to America, this is why you must give us reparations, America, so that we can protect ourselves and be elevated to a new status. And people believe that. People believe that reparations are going to be given because you got the data, you got the information, you can prove that you're right. People believe that they can get some sort of status that says you are a sovereign citizen or a sovereign nation or whatever, so America can't mess with you, as if America gives a damn about your freedom papers. People actually believe that they can run away from white people. I'm going to move to another country. I'm going to go to another continent and everything is going to be, people don't understand. When we talk about the philosophy, the system, and the game of capitalistic white supremacy and racism, they don't get that. So our people are constantly being led astray. Time is being wasted, and we're given these pseudo solutions that are never going to come to fruition because these people don't know what they're talking about. And that's why it's so important that we continue to do what we do, because again, I tell people all the time, we are different because of our leadership and our understanding of what we're up against and what they're doing. And Washington, which is going to happen again, you know, they are planning this thing in multiple cities around the country.
Love it.
You know, so it's gonna, you know, you're gonna have to get out and lay down. All right, so if you missed the,
let me say this as a piggyback, and want to say greetings to my good brother Michael Gunn out in California, who's joining us tonight all the way from Cali. For everybody that's on this call, so you can understand this, my background is marketing, finance, economics, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, we got about 3 years. We got about 3 years for you to get between 500,000 plus. And that 500,000 plus needs to be converted into some hard assets like silver, you know, gold. You got to get you some crypto. You got to get you some land. If you don't want to read, if you don't want to research, if you don't want to study, analyze, if you don't want to learn to become uncomfortable, if you don't want to learn to become uncomfortable, I mean, you really pretty much need to do what the fake ass Donald Trump followers have done, who have committed suicide. Because I'm telling you, this thing here, you about to experience some serious turbulence. Yeah. And I'm so happy that the ancestors can finally see what their damn bloodline is made of. And unfortunately, it's going to be some very disappointed ancestors, because most of these people don't know how to struggle and really get down to it. Because no matter whether they were struggling over the past 46 years of pseudo-integration or not, most of these Negroes always held out firm to the belief that white folks were going to save them.
That's right.
That's why the documentary from Dr. Jeffrey Canada is so important, Waiting for Superman. What did Jeffrey Canada say, Brother Tamani? He started crying because he learned what?
He realized that no one was coming to save them.
No, not no one. Who wasn't coming to save them?
Superman.
Superman, goddammit.
That white dude.
He said no one. He said, Mama, you mean to tell me Superman can do anything? And who was Superman? The white man.
The white man. And you know, Craig, it was telling, because when he said that, you know, no one's coming, Superman isn't coming, then what he said after that was, it was then that I realized we were on our own. And that's heavy.
That's why I needed Donald Trump to win president. So the Negro could be forced to goddamn understand one basic ass reality. Nobody's gonna save your punk ass but yourself combined with a group of other like-minded people. What a goddamn concept.
All right. If you missed the beginning of the show, you are listening to The Revolutionary Code. where we bring you the truth about how governmental politics actually works in every facet of human existence and how that affects our people, Black people here in America. Tonight's show is our 22nd episode and is titled White Hate, Anger, and Violence, Understanding How Plutocrats Use Propaganda to Pimp the Masses. My name is Tamani Mwandani. I'm the founder of the Black Gold Nation Movement. I am the host this evening, and my co-host is Brother Craig B. Lee. He is the National Director of the Black Gold Nation's Political Strategy and Implementation Department. Okay, Brother Craig, the next question. So what do you think Trump's next move is? What do you think his next tactic is going to be? Because he's going to be out of office, obviously. He's already
laid it out.
Go ahead.
He's going to continue to pimp the bubbas.
No doubt.
He's going to continue to pimp the zealots. Now, understand, all of the people that's following him are not bubbas. Some of them are just straight up high-level zealots. I think I made a post today about the Olympic swimmer, gold medalist.
Mm-hmm.
He's been arrested.
Mm-hmm.
You have bankers, you have financiers.
That's right.
So these are hillbilly-ass folks now.
Yeah, people from all walks of life.
Okay?
That's right.
So he's going to continue to pimp them, although had been working as a double agent for the Democratic Party. But like I say, man, the first thing before he does what he does, he should be given the NAACP award, highest award, Urban League highest award, Oscar, because this dude has played his role so well, it's unbelievable. And he is damn near single-handedly destroyed the Republican Party. He's played his role so great, it's unreal. So, but the ultimate thing, because he's going to be able to pimp them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of the show. So he's already said tonight, if you go back and listen to his speech today, he said, our movement. We don't, don't our movement. Man, look, man, he know he got millions.
Millions.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now he can recreate himself with this. You see? So it's a continual pimp game. He's not a plutocrat, by the way.
Right.
He's an oligarch.
Right.
He's underneath the plutocrat. The plutocrats is who just made him sit his punk ass down.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to continue to pimp the mindless, not only white folks, but some of those pseudo bourgeoisie Negroes who desire to be tag along.
So you think that pimping is going to come in the form of another party? He's going to start his own Fox 2 radio station. Radio or television station. Well, how do you think he's going to do it?
Definitely going to have communications driven. It's going to have some entertainment vehicle, because he can sell his leverage of the masses to television.
Right.
So it's going to be within one of the or multiple layers of the entertainment arena. I don't know if he will directly ever try to run for public office again, but he's going to be pimping.
Yeah.
However he does it, he's going to be pimping the man. He struck a chord. So because I want you to think about this now. The closest cat to strike this chord with white folks over the past 50 years was George Wallace out of Alabama, and the white folks put him out of commission. And the other white racists, hardcore racists, Hillary Clinton used to be one of, was it McGovern? I'll pull it up. But he hit a chord with the white folks that has never been hit since George Wallace. And George Wallace was not accepted because it went against the hustle game of the plutocrats. Mm-hmm. But, everything resonated with Trump. So he's going to keep on pimping. How he's going to do it, he's going to definitely have some entertainment value in it. He's going to leverage his followers into millions of dollars.
Right, and that's something that we also need to remember and keep in mind that Donald Trump by himself, like Hitler, is only one person. What makes that person dangerous is the millions that follow him and believe everything that he says. And that is a perfect segue to the next question. Why is it important for Black people to understand everything that you've said so far? Why do we need to understand the intricate ins and outs and the ramifications of what happened at the Capitol? Why is it important for us Black people to understand that?
Because it gives you the real deal lesson of what the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy is all about. It's about hypocrisy. It's about white privilege. It's about white denial. It's about hustle. And it puts reality right in front of you. And it will get Negroes out of, it will transition them, I should say, because they have to be transitioned because they're so deep in their sleep. But it will transition them out of their idealism and their romanticism into beginning to see this thing with reality. You can talk to any social worker, any drug counselor. The first thing that you have to do in overcoming any addiction or any mental disorder, you got to accept what it is.
Yep.
that has you weighted down.
Yep.
Whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, whatever that vice, you got to be willing to admit it, confess it, before you can move on. Our people still want to romanticize and fantasize about what America is based on rhetoric and not dealing with the historical facts, the irrefutable facts. And as I went back and viewed James Baldwin's Price of the Ticket and viewed some of King's rhetoric, I'm like, the game that they were playing on our people was so devastating because they used some pretty strong, perceptively hardcore grassroots revolutionary rhetoric to disguise their love of white folks. I mean, that's why Martin Luther King said, I'm almost of the mindset to, believe that the white moderate there's no help for him similar. He's worse than the Klanner and these other races. Yep. He said almost, because he just could not. Martin Luther King loved white folks.
Yeah. But
simultaneously, so that he wouldn't be found out to be who he really was, he used some real gangster ass rhetoric. So did Baldwin. But make no mistake, these people love white folks, and you can look at their history. And so the events of last week force our people to start to deal with reality. However, the Congressional Black Caucus, those in the bourgeoisie leadership realm, they're going to roll with what Biden said. This is not who we are. This is not what we're about. We're better than this. You see?
Yeah.
So this is where we come in as grassroots advocates, grassroots hybrids, to show our people the real deal. Exactly, Brother Ken. After King, in 1967, he referenced the fact that he feared he may have integrated his people into a burning house. King knew what the hell he was doing, but he loved white folks. And so I made a post the other day from Politico. His first chick that he wanted to marry was a white chick. Betty Metz, whatever her name was. But you got to understand, who you are physically, sexually involved with, that's where your politics lie.
Mm.
Who you are sexually involved with, that's where your politics lie. So don't tell me about Venus and Serena Williams and Michael Jordan being black people and advocates for black folks, because you analyze who they are physically involved with and they'll tell you what they're really all about.
Right. Amen. Okay, so you said earlier, I asked you why these people were so pissed off, and you said that they were pissed off because of the darkening of America, and their lifestyle has changed. Their white privilege is coming to an end, and quite possibly they see that, and they're pissed off about it. They're going to have to work. They're going to have to compete, and I firmly believe, Brother Craig, that because they don't really understand that they've never really had to compete like we have. They've never had to go through what we've gone through to even get a chance to compete. I think they're in a bad spot, because competing is what we've been doing for a very long time, and we're good at it. So with that, what are the implications for Black people as relates to white people coming to the realization that their world, like, they think they own America. They think America is theirs. All the laws should be in their favor. Their white privilege should protect them from whatever the hell. What are the implications for our people as it relates to their ignorance, their hate, their anger, and the reality that, America is getting more and more dark?
Well, the implications for us are, it's great.
How so?
So with this reality that we were in pre-64, we were forced to do for ourselves.
That's right.
And so now, and this is the sad reality of our people, because they exist in this one-dimensional mindset, so they only looked at segregation as a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there were several positive aspects of segregation.
Huge.
So we're going back to a tenor and tone of Jim Crow segregation.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's not as hardcore, that's where we're basically going back to. The difference is it affords us a lot of opportunities.
Right.
A lot of opportunities to partnership with grassroots Latinos, grassroots Native Americans, other grassroots melanated people. Because one thing is for goddamn sure, you got some killers out here today, for real. I know there were some killers back then, but you got some real deal killers today. And although they don't have the same weaponry, man, to now see a grassroots networking of the second largest ethnic group in America, combined with the third largest ethnic group in America, combined with the fourth largest ethnic group in America, and the second, third, and fourth largest ethnic group are the main individuals who have been in and out of the penal system in America and have a I don't give a damn mindset. Hey man, there are a lot of opportunities for the grassroots hybrid who can play this, but this is now going to force our people back into the mindset of where we were at when we were creating Black townships in America.
That's right.
Remember all of this happened coming out of the Civil War from 1864 to basically 1944. Over 200 Black townships. At the height of lynchings, at the height
right.
all of the hardcore rapes and whatnot. Okay? That's the reality. Brother Ken talked about the looting and the burning of some of the Black townships. One of the things that's a misnomer is that a lot of the Black townships were burned and destroyed by white folks. While that did happen, you know, most famously with Black Wall Street, Greenwood, in Tulsa, Rosewood, St. Louis. The reality is that the majority of Black towns were not burned down. The destruction of those towns came as our ancestors desired to leave the South and the Midwest. That really is the truth. We destroyed our own in order to try to fit in with the so-called advancement of society. That is the truth. And unfortunately, a lot of those towns stopped existing, but some of them still exist.
Yep.
Grambling, Louisiana, Mound Bayou, Mississippi, Tubtown, Georgia, Muskogee, Oklahoma, Langston, Oklahoma. A lot of them, and guess what? Negroes are starting to see we need to move back to those places.
That's right.
Technology has made it where you can pick up a check by working online.
Mm-hmm.
Corona has made it possible for that to happen. You can do remote employment and you can do entrepreneurship from your house in the goddamn woods if you got good internet connection.
and also there are, you know, not just the historical Black townships and cities and whatnot, but there are over 1,700 predominantly Black towns and cities in this country that we need to be paying close attention to, which of course is part of our political strategy. So last two questions. So what should the next step for Black people be? What should we be doing as a collective, those of us that want to get down for something? What should be our next step?
Well, you know, as I always say this every week,
that's right.
It's never going to change. First and foremost, they need to join up with the Black Gold Nation so that they can learn how to maneuver in this game, so they can be trained and taught how to maneuver. We have a phenomenal team nationally and internationally. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, after they link up and they start to learn and get enlightened about this process, they got to get involved in their city. I don't give a damn if it's just you in your own town. We're going to provide the support for you to be able to navigate and start to pick up other like-minded grassroots people in your town. And then you're going to start getting involved. You're going to start feeling what? Uncomfortable. You're going to start carrying your ass to the city council meeting, to the parish commission meeting, to the county commission meetings, to the school board meetings. You're going to start learning the various boards. You're going to know who your city council people are. You're going to start a damn business. You're going to stop being afraid. You're going to start to embrace the fact that you are a descendant of the original, the greatest people to ever populate the world. And then at that point, they're going to link up. Third thing, they're going to link up nationally with other grassroots advocates who are part of the grassroots movement of the Black Gold Nation. And then you're going to see physical reality come into fruition. And then at that particular point, whether you are in a town that can be taken, that's majority African American, or we need to move your ass to one of our towns.
That's right.
You'll be linked up with a family that cares about you and that wants to see you tap into your micro or your macro purpose. But those are the next few steps. It ain't no goddamn rocket science.
Yeah, it most certainly is not deep. Okay, so last thing, like I said last week, and I think I'm going to make this a part of every show because I like the question. If you could only give people who are watching now, people who are going to watch the recording, only one takeaway from tonight's show, based on everything we've been talking about, you want people to take one thing away from what we discussed tonight, what would that one thing be? Only one.
Stop being a goddamn prostitute. Stop being pimp. And in order to stop being pimp, you got to embrace the 6 pillars of empowerment: spirituality, right culture, education, economics, socioeconomics, and politics. Start to embrace the essence of who you are. Stop being a pimp. Stop being pimp. Stop being a prostitute. Allow yourself to come into the greatness. I have a quote that I created for young people years ago. I was asked to speak at a youth program at a school, and they wanted me to electrify the children. And I thought about something, a pledge, something I could say to them that could stimulate, motivate them every day. And this is what it is. It is up to me to be all that I can be. For if I believe in the power the Creator has gifted me, I know I can achieve and be what I am supposed to be: great. So you can't be great being a prostitute. You can't be great allowing somebody to pimp. And when I talk about being a prostitute, for damn sure I ain't talking about just no damn female. Because we got a lot of punk ass Negro male prostitutes walking the street. They're in the churches, they're in the goddamn political corridors, they're in business rooms, they're punks, they're spineless cowards. They are prostitutes for the architects, engineers, and managers of the philosophy, system, and game of capitalistic white supremacy. So that's the one takeaway. Stop being prostitutes and cowards and start being revolutionary-minded advocates for our people.
All right, that is an excellent final statement. All right, so before we close this thing out tonight, does anybody have, I'm gonna start with Brother Naru. After Brother Naru asks his question or makes his comment, because it's like religion, damn it. Every week, brother got a question, which is wonderful. Right. So I'm gonna let Brother Naru kick it off with his question or comment, and then if anyone else has a question or comment, we can just go from there. Go ahead, Brother Naru.
I've got 2 tonight. First of all, I want to ask, do you think that white supremacy and racism are like smoke screens being used by the plutocrats who really don't even care about poor folks, whatever color they are? When watching those movies, the first movie, the Plutocrats, it seemed like they don't care what color you are. They just want to be on top. So do you think they use that as a divisive tool? And I'll ask the second one after you answer this one.
That is a great question, Naru. And it is yes and no. Yes, they do care about white supremacy, racism, and no, they don't care about white supremacy, racism. So how can it be both? It's real simple. The plutocrats will oppress, as you just said, any ethnic group, okay? They don't give a damn. See, this ain't just race. It's class, gender, your physical abilities, whether you're handicapped, whatever. They will oppress any entity. So that is true. But simultaneously, it is about white supremacy, racism, because within the power dynamic to attack your spirit and your culture, they have to now create a dynamic where everything is about them and their power base. So the other flip side to that, and this is the piece that Martin Luther King never could get, and most of our people never could get. This is why there can never be equality, Brother Naru. If there was equal playing ground, guess who would cease to exist?
It ain't no mystery.
These white folks ain't crazy. They know what the real game is, and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing talks about this in her Cress Welsing theory.
In the ISIS papers, yes, sir.
The ISIS papers. Because they're not afraid of the Negro male because of his ability to fight and defend himself. They are afraid of the Negro male based on what, Brother Naru? His what?
There's genetic, there's penis. You can say that. Genetic annihilation. Just to be real with it.
And that's what Francis Cress Welding said.
Yes, sir.
So that's the reality. So you cannot have equality. So they have to play this clever game and pit ethnicities against each other, okay, including white folks. I had to do a racism workshop probably about 15 years ago, a group called the Baha'i Faith. And they're, they're white, but that's a Indian type thing. But they invited me to come do a racism workshop. And I asked them one question, Brother Naru. I said, can y'all tell me the one group of people who get messed over every year and they don't really know they get messed over? And they said, African American black people. I say, hell no.
We know we get messed over.
Goddamn black eyed peas and goddamn cornbread trying to have some good luck for the next year. So hell no, not us. They say Latino. I say hell no. Native Americans, hell no. They just kept going down the line. They say, well, who? I say, y'all stupid ass. They bank on y'all stupidity. They bank on your ignorance. I say, ain't no black man shutting down no damn Smith Corona manufacturing facility and moving into Mexico. That's your uncle and that's your cousin. And they were amazed that a black person was willing to tell them the truth. But see, when you see the movie, the docudramas, Plutocracy, it lays it out right there for your stupid ass.
Yes, sir.
So,
all right, well, I got one more. One more. What excuse do you think the Biden administration is going to have now that they control the House and the Senate to not do something for us? Now they got everything they've been saying they want. What's going to be the excuse now?
So all we now to find that answer out is to go back to 2008 when Barack Obama had the same damn thing. And so they're going to come up with a spin to blame it still on the Republican Party. But now you got the goddamn Congress.
You got everything.
And you got the Senate.
You got all three branches.
And you got the executive branch.
Yeah, you got all three.
Okay? The only thing you don't have is full tilt control at the Supreme Court. So I'm waiting for this new fantasy to unfold because I'm doing my case analysis. I got what Obama said, but I'm waiting for what he's going to say. But bruh, it's gonna be some heartbroken Negroes.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think he gonna say? I'm like, what he gonna come up with now? Give me what's your thought? Like, what you think he gonna try to do, bro? That's what I'm asking you. What can he say now?
Well, the beautiful thing is when Tamani asked about last week, that was really more about what is going to happen under the Biden administration than anything to do with Clinton. Meaning, he's going to use that as an excuse, his scapegoat, to say what he can't do for Negroes, because if he does that, he's going to tear the country up. So he's going to go back to a Abraham Lincoln-like excuse, where Abraham Lincoln placated. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen. I'm about to play something real quick, but go ahead.
Okay. He's going to go back to the Abraham Lincoln thing, where Abraham Lincoln let it be known, shit, hey, I'm not against slavery, I'm for slavery. And if I could keep slavery going and protect the Union, I would. But since this is a big issue, I got to do what I got to do. So it's going to come with them placating to the white folks who helped storm the Capitol.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let's be clear. She's already told us what she is and is not going to do And this is his vice president who is supposed to be representing black people. She's already told us, Naru. Check it.
Yeah.
Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Okay.
It's clear.
Yeah.
So black people all just like Obama, we all excited. We got a black woman, blah blah blah. She's already said that she's not black. But everybody, well, I know, but we don't know that. And we look at her and we think she's a sister and we got the same background, blah blah blah. And just like everyone who's elected, they identify all the groups that they're going to do something for, specifically for all these groups. Kids who are born here, parents brought them here, gays, lesbians, white women, everybody gets something. But when it comes to just doing something just for black people, no, hell no. So they've already said what they are not going to do, brother. And that's why anything we want, we got to mobilize, organize, and take. And that's how it's always been, and that's how it's always going to be. Yes, sir.
And when you watch Plutocracy, you're going to see that's how it's always been, and that's how it always will be.
Brother, that's how it's always been. That's how it always is going to be. All right, does anybody else have a question or comment for Brother Craig? Brother Ken?
Yeah, I just wanted to get Brother Craig to just briefly as he can, just go over some of the things that people who may be watching even in the latter of the broadcast when you upload it again, some of the things that they could be doing, people who think they're economically disadvantaged or whatever, people who feel they're on the lower end of the spectrum, things they could be doing who really kind of want to get involved, but things they could be doing to kind of advance themselves and get involved and actually begin to get involved.
Yeah, and that's a real good question, Brother Ken. As I told Brother Tamani a few seconds ago, the first thing is getting connected with us, Black Gold Nation, so that they can learn the process, so they can get plugged in, because you got to learn what this is all about, the function, the inner workings of this. Had a powerful meeting tonight, Ken, with the brother Jonathan Reynolds. He's the chairperson of the Airport Authority, and the white folks want him bad. And I was telling Tamani, first time in world history, bourgeoisie called a meeting with the intellectual gangster. Okay. It was a powerful meeting. And all thanks to Trump, the white folks want him back. But we're about to save him because they know I know how this whole system works. So the first thing is to get involved, because there's so many layers to this game. And we're the only group that's out there nationally that's going to break this thing down from the foundation all the way up to the roof. So that's number one. Number two, when they get involved, they start to go and get in the mix as we'll instruct them in their city, in their county or parish. And the third thing is to be in participation with the various programs and projects that we'll be ushering in. For example, Houston, as I told you in the Tuesday Morning Breakfast Group the other day, Houston is going to be our second city. And myself and Lloyd always had a vision of expanding our format throughout the country to grassroots people, so they could take this simple program and start to navigate with public and private sector decision makers in their respective cities. So I'm proud and pleased to announce that this is going to be a BGN program in Houston. Brother Tamani is going to bring his ass from behind the computer screen, and he's going to start to get involved with these goddamn criminals and scallywags and savages and all of the people that he reads about. He's going to now start to get in the mix with them so he can use his phenomenal intellect to get in there. And he's going to be doing this with Brother Lloyd and our Houston squad, and they're going to make some noise. I told them I don't want them to do it on Tuesday morning. I want them to do it on Wednesday or Thursday. So there are times, Brother Ken, you and I can go down and join with them as they have come up to Shreveport. And as a matter of fact, part of the meeting tonight, these two bourgeoisie brothers, who are good brothers, they are about to put some money up. And I was going to call you after the meeting tonight because they want the telecommunications. They want us to go Hollywood, dog. Y'all, they want us to go Hollywood. So we're going to bring some Hollywood to their head. So they're going to put some money up. Hey. So at the end of the day, that's how we actually do it. And then finally, every person, I don't give a damn if you don't got number 10 now. Here's what you got. You got some intellectual capital, meaning your mind, your spirit, your body. You got a little disposable income, whether you know it or not. You got a vote, and you got your voice. We just have to teach you how to use those things, how to leverage those things. We teach you how to become an intellectual gangster. And that's, I don't give a damn how broke you are. Your ass you got some leverage in the game. You just don't know it.
Brother Craig took the words out of my mouth, Brother Ken, because what I say in our presentations is that every Black person on this planet has capital that we need, that they can bring to us to make this thing work. I don't care how much you don't know, you think you don't know. I don't care how much money you think you don't have. I don't care how spiritual you think you are not, because we're all spiritual beings. Every Black person has intellectual capital, physical capital, economic capital, spiritual capital, and relationship capital. All of us. The question is, are you willing to utilize that capital so your people can be free? And that's why we say every single thing we do is about bringing our people together so we can find the right people so we can make this thing a reality. And if we're paying attention, like Brother Craig said earlier, these people are afraid because of the darkening of America. If we know America's becoming more brown and Black, then why can't we position ourselves to run, if not all of this, then at least the majority of it? And we can, if we're mobilized, organized, understand what we're doing, and we're not afraid to get our hands dirty, because you're going to have to get your hands dirty. It is what it is.
Hey, you remember that scene in the movie Rosewood where Sylvester, they're about to come kill Sylvester, and Sylvester gets his wife and the females out.
Little baby.
Oh yeah, little baby say,
I'm ready.
Little baby shoot, goddamn it.
That's right.
Give me that goddamn gun. I ain't running. Baby is shoot, goddamn.
Got chills on that scene.
Yeah, he was a soldier though, goddamn.
And I tell you what, Craig, we better get serious because other people are willing to shoot.
Exactly.
And goddamn it, they've been training.
Exactly.
All right. Anybody else? Question or comment for Brother Craig? Questions or comments going once, going twice. All right, Brother Craig, give us your closing statements and we can close this thing out.
As I always, I want to thank everybody for their participation tonight. Our show's becoming more impactful. Yes, I bring some flair and flavor in with this because I get hype on this. As my bourgeoisie brothers tonight asked for my help and my mentees' help, I told them I was joking with them. I said, "Allahu Akbar, Allah."
God is great.
They need the soldiers, and so it was wonderful. And so the today has been just a wonderful day, and we're finally getting closed out on this damn house. Had to cuss some people out today, But I want to thank you guys for participating. If you need to reach me, you can reach me, inbox me on Facebook. And again, we're here working. I want to thank Sister Fabu for her dedicated work as we are formulating all of the structural things. And the other beautiful thing about the Black Gold Nation, it is not completely structured. So what we're doing right now, people have a chance to put their imprint on the first ever real deal grassroots organization in world history that's about to put grassroots people at the forefront of power throughout America. And I leave you again with that quote. It is up to me to be all that I can be. For if I believe in the power the Creator has gifted me, I know I can achieve and be what I am supposed to be, great. The Creator ain't designed you to be a punk. The Creator ain't designed you to be a coward. The Creator ain't designed you to be a prostitute. The Creator designed you to be great. And it's about time for you to embrace the greatness that dwells within you. Unlock it, unleash it, and activate it so we can take our rightful goddamn place in this world. Peace.
Amen. All right. So I have placed the link, thanks to Brother Ken, I have placed the link to the movie Plutocracy, all 5 episodes.
Yes.
Parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are going through all of them. One of the things that makes us such a unique organization and different from everybody else is our leadership. If you don't know, or if you haven't been able to conclude this fact, Brother Craig is awesome. But we got more than one Brother Craig in different categories. What we are talking about, what we're trying to get our people to understand, ain't nobody else talking about. I listen, I pay attention. The solutions that other Black people are giving our people is just unrealistic and will not work. When I heard this sister say, white people, you have to give us reparations so we can elevate our status and be protected from these white mobs, she was serious.
Serious.
You can listen to what Black people are telling Black people to do. That's an answer, and it's not an answer. What we are dealing with in this movement is a concrete, show enough, in your face, realistic answer to power. And I challenge you to prove us wrong. Our leadership has expertise, we have understanding, we have experience, and we know what we're doing in all the areas that we're doing it. And all we're trying to do is get you to add your capital to the team so we can win. White people win because they got a team.
That's right.
And they win because they're going to ride or die together so your Black behind don't rise up.
That's right.
They will put aside their personal differences to make sure the colored folks don't rise up. And then they will get back to fighting each other after they squash your behind.
Exactly.
So we got to understand that we got to have a squad. And we got to have a squad on multiple levels because our enemies have squads on multiple levels. So we have a movie review every other Saturday. The next one is, not this Saturday, next one is the 23rd. Click on that link, make a note of that link. We're on episode 3, or part 3. Make sure you watch 1 and 2 so you have a good understanding of the foundation and where we're coming from, and plug into what we're trying to do. Like I said in the beginning, we're not just here to talk. We're not just here to entertain you or educate you, which is great. We're trying to get you to do something. And we're trying to get you to do something because the white man is doing something. And what he's doing is about his survival.
That's right.
It's about his progeny. It's about his people, his kids, and his power. Guess what? We don't have no power. And we're never going to have power if we don't get enough Black people who realize, hey, I need some power. Because again, what happens to us happens because we do not have the power to stop it. So if this stuff is going to work for us, like Brother Craig said, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. And to be quite honest, you're gonna be comfortable. You're gonna be uncomfortable one way or the other. You're gonna be uncomfortable with the white man's knee on your neck, or you're gonna be uncomfortable trying to create a new reality for yourself and your kids. Either way, you are going to be uncomfortable because we have to fashion a new reality out of what we have right now. And if we don't find people who want to do that, then our new reality is going to be one we thought slavery was bad. So with that, click the link, watch part 3, because that's the next one. But make sure you watch 1 and 2 as well. You have about a week and a half to do that, and plug into what the Black Gold Nation movement is doing, because everything we do is about building power. Because we understand that without power, we can't stop the onslaught that's coming, and it's coming. America is changing. The America that comes out of this pandemic will not be the America that went into it. And she was anti-Black when she went into it. So it's going to get worse for us. So we got to find Black people who want to do something. We got to find some spaces that are predominantly Black, and we got to take them over politically so that we can insulate our people and run the system as we see fit. And it's wide open for us to do. I believe that there are only 2 things that can stop us: a higher power, which is not against us, and us. So if we decide not to be stopped, then we won't be stopped. My email address, if you want more information about the Black Gold Nation movement, is theblackgoldnation@gmail.com. Theblackgoldnation@gmail.com. The events website where you can register and see our presentation and learn more about what we're doing, why, and how is www.blackgold-wakandarising.com. Blackgold-wakandarising.com. We talked about a few episodes. This is our 23rd episode. We talked about some things that we've covered in other episodes. If you want to watch those things, you can go to our media website, blackgoldmedia.net, and you can not only watch the previous episodes of the Revolutionary Code, but you can also watch the movie reviews that we've done. And every single one of them has been about what happened at the Capitol. And that is going to continue to happen. So again, you are not going to find another group that is trying to educate our people like we are. You're not going to find another group that's not just trying to do this thing in one category. We have multiple departments, multiple national leaders who understand that we can't afford to do one thing at a time. We got to do a bunch of stuff at the same time, simultaneously, under the radar, globally. And we can't do that on our own. That's why every single thing we do is about bringing our people together. So with that, please, please, please know and understand we're not just here to inform and educate. We're trying to get you to do something. And we're trying to get you to do something because our enemies have been doing something for a very long time. They believe in power by any means necessary. And we got to find some Black folks who believe the same thing. So with that, I want to, again, thank Brother Craig, because he always does an absolutely wonderful job. And I want to thank you guys for being a part of the show. It is quite unfortunate that we have a brother who is putting it out there for us to learn, understand, and utilize. And there's only 12 of us on this call. We need to be in a position by which we can't add more people because we got so many people. This is life-saving information. This is life-changing information. This is the blueprint. We're not just talking. We have people that know what they're doing in multiple categories, but we can't make it happen if it's just, the 12 of us. So we got to invite other Black people, because without Black people, we're simply not going to make it. So with that, again, thank you guys very much for being part of the show. I sincerely appreciate it. Go ahead, Craig.
I made a post on my Facebook page about what I mentioned earlier about Hillary Clinton. She was a Goldwater girl.
Goldwater, okay. Barry Goldwater?
Yeah, Barry Goldwater.
Okay. All right, so with that, again, thank you guys for being a part. I appreciate it. Always, always, always remember 2 things. No one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely, always, always, always remember that nothing is more sacred. Not me, not you, not your kids, not my kids, not your family, not my family. Nothing is more sacred than the liberation and salvation of Black people. Because if Black people don't make it, you're not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Our kids aren't going to make it, and our families aren't going to make it. But if we put the group first, if we put the tribe first, if we put the nation first and become race people, race brothers and sisters, and build power for our group, then everybody that's attached to our group will be taken care of, because they'll be a part of a group that has power, that's not afraid to wield it or use it, because goddamn it, we will get our hands dirty. So with that, you guys have a wonderful evening. God bless. Thank you very much, and I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one. Peace.